Hey guys, and welcome to another First Impressions video, the video game series in which we look at a recently released game and I give you my first thoughts and impressions on it. Today we're looking at Endlanders' First Encounter, which is a prologue to the full game release. It's a pixel art style, roguelite, grid-based, sort of turn-based, free-falling fighter thing. It's kind of a mishmash of a lot of stuff, and it's a bit confusing and a lot to get your head around. With a story, I think. It's a very confusing game. But as always, we will go through the settings first, then we'll jump straight into the game, and I will give you my first thoughts and impressions as we go. So let's not waste any more time. Let's jump straight into it. Alright, the options then, or rather lack of them. The game does highly recommend you use a controller, and the main reason for that is that whilst you can use your mouse and keyboard, there's no cursor, so you don't actually know where your mouse is. And then there's no graphic settings at all. You've got sound settings, mute, visual effects, and disable video, which is a bit of a weird one to have on there. I don't know why that's there. And then you can delete your save and start again. Some things that I would very much like to see on this would be a cursor and a sensitivity setting for both the mouse and the controller. One of the big things that I had when I played this is that moving around on the grid was an actual nightmare because I kept moving to the top or to the bottom. But you'll see that in gameplay. So yeah, pretty disappointing options menu. Not really a lot to discuss here. Let's get into the game. Alright, we're in the game, and as you can see, we're in this world. We can move around freely. We've got this tower thing, which is basically your shop. You can go in and you can buy random common card. You can buy random rare card if you've got enough of these points to do that, because it uses a deck-based system for real-life combat. It really is a lot of systems on a lot of other systems that personally feels like it's just too much. It needs simplifying because it's a bit too much to sort of go through, you know. And then the idea is you run around and you battle people to get the points so you can go and upgrade your deck and move on from there. And it uses a very ingenious, very intuitive system of like a grid-based, turn-based combat, and it's interesting and unique, but also kind of broken and doesn't really work that well. So one of the biggest problems I've got is that the sensitivity of the controls is so high that getting onto the middle sort of row is actual work and very hard to do. So when you're being attacked by a monster, you're not in for a good time. And then the idea is that you have these cards that give you your abilities to be able to defeat these monsters, and the more cards you get, the better cards you get. They will give you extra abilities and attacks, and some you want to ideally have a large range of tiles that you can span across in order to beat the monsters. When you go against two monsters at the same time, it can get very overwhelming, especially when you are trying to sort of move around the grid. And if you've got two that are sort of one at the top, one at the bottom, both attacking simultaneously, you're going to take damage because when you quick flick your analog stick, you end up missing the middle row entirely, which could be the only safe row there. Outside of that, the combat is very, very simplistic. The enemies don't seem to do a lot. They seem to do the same sort of move or combo of moves over and over again. And the way that you initiate combat is you have to press your B button if you're using a Xbox controller until you've got enough of a grid space, and then everybody just kind of gets pulled into that. Again, it's just another system that doesn't need to be there. I don't understand why I have to create the arena. Just make the arena appear. You can collect items when you're going around the world. and then you get to do stuff with those items as well, although what, it's not entirely clear. You get a tutorial or you get a pop-up box once and then never again. So if you don't catch it, it's you can access the tutorial again, but it's a bit of a, again, too many clicks to go through, in my opinion, to get to that tutorial, to get what you need to know. It's not a bad game, and I can see people very much getting into it, but I feel like there's just too many systems, one on top of the other. Like, you've got to farm a lot as well to get what it is that you want to get, because it takes a lot of points to unlock your cards, your common and your rare cards. So you're going to be playing a lot, and you don't get that many points per enemy. The maps themselves, the each different zones or whatever, aren't very big. And if you die, you lose everything, right? If you die, you lose all your points, and you can no longer buy things that you need. And it's important to notice as well that to get potions are 100 a pop. So maybe scaling things down a little bit, because as you can see, I'm down to 55 health. I don't get a potion pot. I don't start with a potion pot. I have to buy one. So already I'm looking at a large grinding area to be able to afford to get the cards to make my game easier. And if I'm buying potions to try and survive because I keep dying, I'm not going to be doing that, right? I'm not going to be able to spend on potions. But if I save, then I'm going to die horribly, because this game is very punishing. So I don't know. I'm in two minds about it. Like, it's pretty fun as styles go, but I feel like if they just reduce the amount of functions and the amount of layers there are to the game and just kept it a bit more simple, it would be easier. And for God's sake, please change the sensitivity on this, because it's awful. It is horrendous. Like, I can't hit him because he keeps going to the middle, and if he goes to the middle, I die. But there you are. This is Endlanders. This is the prologue. There are things still subject to change, and hopefully they will change some things and add some stuff and do all that good stuff. Okay, cool. So we got a card. We won a card from an enemy. Go us. But yeah, there you are. That is Endlanders. It's got potential, but it needs to simplify itself. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I hope to see you all